Hello to anybody that's watching this. You know, you're probably watching this because maybe you got out of a relationship, or you're trying to fight for one, And I just want to say that breakups, or taking a break, they are never easy. They are never easy, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know you feel lost. I know you feel like you don't know what's gonna happen next. You feel like you just wanna die, because I almost took my life. I almost stabbed myself in the heart. But the mental hospital came, took me in the ambulance. I had to go to the hospital because I was gonna kill myself, But I didn't. And that's because of a girl that broke up with me. Okay? But the reason why it hurts, the reason why it feels like we can't do anything is because there's a void in your heart. There's a hole in your heart that person always filled up. You came home, that void was still there, but that person, she or he came, talked to you, and he healed it up. He healed up that void, and that void was kept getting filled up by them, And as you grew, or as you lived your life, that void was always there. But that person is part of your routine now. They're part of what you do every day, They're part of you, And now that you let go, now that they broke up with you, or that you took a break, whatever happened, I'm not gonna judge. Whatever happened, that void is never gonna be filled. It's never gonna be filled, It's gonna stay empty, and it's gonna hurt, It's gonna hurt, But they're never easy. Because if it was easy, you wouldn't be watching this video. You'd be moved on already. You'd be fine, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard. It's really hard. It's the hardest thing a teen can go through right now. Because, it's just, you're not ready for that stuff right now. You're just a kid. Or maybe you're grown up, But you're growing, you're still growing. You still have years ahead of you. And you feel like it's all gone because of that, But you have to keep going, Because that void is still going to be there no matter what you do. But the best you can do is fill it up. You try to fill it up, But I just want to say is that instead of ignoring that void in your heart, you gotta replace it, what the worst thing you could do is rush into a relationship, by the way. Find a girl, I don't know why you do this. Don't go on Snapchat, add every single girl you see. Go on Instagram, message every girl you see, saying that I want to think, don't do that, man. Don't do drugs, don't do alcohol to mask the pain, because that pain is still gonna be there. You're gonna be staring at your ceiling at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you're all alone. Doesn't matter what you do. Okay? So I want you to replace that void. And when I say replace, I mean by doing things that benefit you. Let's say that you guys always sleep on call together. Not sleep on call. But benefit yourself by listening to online sermons, listen to God. Listen to audiobooks that make you what you're curious about. Because those help you, benefit you, but they also replace that void in your heart. Without knowing that it's gonna hurt you in the long run. Let's say you always call when you guys woke up. Now wake up and write down on a piece of paper. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that you want to do today, and those benefit you. Those aren't replacing it by knowing that's gonna hurt you in the long run, because it's gonna help you in the long run. It's gonna help you replace that void with routines that help you. Because it doesn't matter how much alcohol you take that night. It doesn't matter how much you party that night. When you go home and the music's done, you're still gonna be thinking about that person. You're still gonna be thinking, why did I do this? Why can't I sleep? Why does it hurt so bad? Because that void is there. You put a band-aid on it. You put the band-aid on it for the day, and then you finally took it off, and now it hurts because and that band-aid never helped. It's just making you feel worse. I'm gonna keep the video not too long, because I'm gonna go more in depth, and you can check out my other videos, But if you just got a relationship and you wanna heal, you wanna move on, because I'm sorry, man. I know you want her back. I know you want him back, but they aren't coming back, okay? You gotta realize that. You gotta realize that sometimes everything doesn't go your way. Sometimes God did this for a reason, you know? God knew that it wasn't healthy for both of you guys. You guys needed to split. I'm sorry, but she's not coming back. He's not coming back. I'm sorry. You know? Because if you keep waiting for them to come back, you're wasting your life, okay? But I'm just gonna say 2 things, okay? They can help heal you so much quicker than you can think, okay? First, block their socials. Block everything. Block every contact. I don't care. You know, block their number. Block them on Snapchat. Block them on TikTok. Block them on Instagram. Then delete social media. Because as long as you keep that door open, you know, you keep that window slightly open, you know, your heart is always gonna follow that crack. It's always gonna sneak in that crack, and you're gonna think about them. You're gonna always come back to stalking them. You're always gonna come back to texting them. Because I promise you, that's what your heart craves for. And if you give it what it craves for, that void's still to be there. It's still you're trying to fill that void, but you know, 10 seconds of pleasure for what? For an hour of hurt. Because you gotta put that away, man. You gotta delete everything. I don't care. And if you keep saying, but what if she texts me? What if she reaches out? But she's not going to. Because if she did, if she really wanted that, she wouldn't stay. She would have talked to you. She would have communicated about it, but she didn't. And now you're here. And you're telling yourself this, and it's hurting you. It's hurting you more than you can ever think. Okay? Second, grow. Okay? I don't... Most people just stay who they are and try to expect time will heal it. It could, but it's gonna take your whole life. I want you to grow, okay? I want you to do things that you never did before. I want you to try new things, you know? Like, I want you to move around your room. I want you to remove those things that remind you of them, okay? I don't care if you had a routine of them. No one cares. No one's gonna reach out and say, what about that routine? Are you guys okay? You know, no one's gonna text you that, okay? You need to change, you know? You need to get into new hobbies, you know? Maybe start that new business you always wanted to start. Start playing piano. Start that new sport you want to try. Try boxing, you know. Start those things that you've always dreamt of and you never thought about doing it. Do it. Do it today. Okay? You have a life ahead of you. And the more you waste it on this one person, you know, that's hours of your life that you wish you got back when you're dying. Okay? Gotta lock in. Gotta realize your worth. Okay? Gotta grow. You have to post in your story every day saying, oh, I hit 400 PR in the gym. Yeah, she's not gonna care. She's not gonna do it. Because I promise you, the best way of healing, the best way of detaching from that person is growing. But growing in silence is growing in a way where you don't need to show it. Because I promise you that in a month, you know, as long as you keep growing, as long as you keep working out in the gym without showing it, they'll notice. They'll notice that you've grown. They'll notice that you don't need them, that you're prospering without them. And once they notice that, they're gonna text you saying, hey, I made a mistake, I want you back. But you'll be so far gone, you won't even look back. You're gonna look back and say, why did I even want you in the first place, you know? I promise you something better than that, okay? I promise. Don't look back. Don't look back where you come from, you know? I know it hurts. I know it still hurts. I know it's not gonna get back better in a month. It might not get better in a year, you know? But don't give up. Don't stop trying. Don't fall back to things you know is gonna hurt you. Don't fall into pleasures that you know hurt you. Okay? Stop with that. Stop crawling back to her. Okay? Because you know it's been 2 weeks. I'm doing a lot better because I follow these. I'm still hurting. You know, I still miss her. I still have that mind in my head to still stalk her, but I don't because I block her and everything. And I knew that if I didn't block her and everything, if I didn't remove social media from my life, I text her, I knew I'd stalk her, and I'd just get ruined. I'd go back to square one. I'd go back to that person who saw her with her friends, who saw her being happy about me. And I always come back to the person wondering what went wrong, and I'm thinking about what am I gonna do with my life. I showed so no motivation, you know. And that's how I feel, and that's how I was gonna feel if I didn't delete social media. You know, I'm growing, you know. I work out so much. I work out every day. You know, I take my time. I take my time with myself. I just buy the Bible. I'm reading about God. That's been helping me get through it. You know, so it's okay to be alone, and that's the best thing about, you know, being out of a relationship. That you can learn to be happy alone. You know, you don't have to learn. You don't have to, you know, text them about everything. Sometimes you wanted to. I always wanted to. I love coming home and just texting about my day. You know, but now it's gone. You know, write down your notes or, you know, just talk to yourself because these videos help me. These videos, because this is my dream, you know. My dream is to talk to people about life. I love talking about life. I love talking about telling people what you should do in the future, by saying things like your life is meaningful, and it's only meaningful if you do something you like instead of being influenced by the public, you know. But I'm telling you, I know it's hard. Relationships are never meant to be easy, you know. I know it's hard, but you'll get through it, okay? Breakups, you know, when you date a girl, when you're young, you know, breakups are like 99%, they're gonna happen, you know, they're not gonna work out on the first try most of the time. And I'm sorry, okay, but you just gotta keep trying. You can't look back. You gotta keep moving forward. You gotta keep prospering, because I promise you, they'll notice. People will notice. They'll say, you came a hell of a long way, and you have came a hell of a long way. Just don't look back now, okay? Keep pushing to be that person. I'm not telling you have to be perfect. I'm telling you to be that person that you always wanted to be. Be that person that you saw potential when you first came into life, and you realized that life is getting serious. It's getting real, you know. It's not easy anymore. You aren't eating from your mom's mouth anymore. You're not getting spoon-fed all that money that your parents made for you. You're not letting God care. You're not letting God carry you anymore. You know, you gotta let go. And that's the truth about life, that it's hard, and you know, and it only gets easier if you put in effort, because you keep waiting for that day for her to text you and say, I want you back. But if you're waiting for that day, you're wasting your life. You're wasting that precious time where you could grow, you know, be that person you want to be. Okay, grow into your seed right now. You want to grow, you know, you're just growing your roots. Sometimes you have to grow the roots from the back, just to grow and be that tall, big tree with fruits and all those acorns, you know. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy life how you have it, you know. I know it's hard. I know you feel like giving up. I know you feel like you just want to die, you know. But you gotta keep trying. You gotta keep putting in that effort, because it only gets easier from here as long as you put in effort, okay? Okay. Don't give up. Keep following your dream. Keep following what you always wanted to be. Keep growing, man. Don't look back. Don't keep stalking her. Ignore her. You know, don't keep staring at her in the hallways and stop acting like you guys, you know, because it's done. It's over now. You can't go back. I'm sorry. Have a good life. Good luck. You're not alone.